A search for suspects is now underway after a weekend house fire quickly turned into a homicide investigation. Irondequoit police have confirmed a mother, father, and two small children were found dead inside their home Saturday. The police chief calls this the worst he's ever seen. Natalie Kutchko heard from investigators on this tragic case today. She joins us now live in the studio with what we know so far. Natalie.
Yeah, Teresa, investigators have spent the entire weekend not giving up to process the scene and also comb through extensive evidence at the family's Irondequoit home. As mentioned, a mom, dad, and their two small kids, ages 2 and 4, were found dead in the basement. The police chief says the pursuit to find those responsible is only beginning.
When you murder innocent children, there's no excuse for it.
A clear message from Irondequoit Police Chief Scott Peters, the chief fighting back tears, identifying the 4 victims, a family murdered at their home on Knapp Avenue early Saturday morning. 30-year-old Frame Ubaldo, 26-year-old Marangeli Moreno Santiago, and their 2 children, 4-year-old Evangeline Ubaldo Moreno and 2-year-old Sebastian Ubaldo Moreno, were found dead in the basement of their home by firefighters on scene.
Due to the condition of the bodies, it was readily apparent that this was going to be a homicide investigation. We took 2 days to make sure that we methodically cleared that location. The fire did not help, but it didn't hinder us. We wanted to make sure that we went floor to floor and didn't miss any piece of information that needed to be collected to ultimately bring these monsters to justice.
Police say the family purchased the home in the last few years, the parents showing no criminal history or suspicious calls to the residents. What is typically a quiet neighborhood has been shaken with grief.
We were heartbroken. Our hearts go out to the families, go out to their friends, go out to the neighbors for suffering through this horrific event. And we will not stop until justice is served.
As the investigation continues to identify and hold the suspects accountable, Chief Peters says in his more than 30-year career in law enforcement, this case is unlike anything he's ever seen.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen. I'll remember it for life. Simple as that. Just looking at the condition of the bodies, you can tell that these were not wounds consistent with, the bodies they didn't have damage to them consistent with being in a fire. Mom was being a mom, protecting her children. Dad, I can't say, but nobody should ever be able to do this or be able to think that they could do that to a child. So, let's just leave it at that.
While the police chief says he does believe this was a targeted case, he is unable to clarify a clear motive at this time or a connection right now between the victims and the suspects. A cause of the fire and cause of deaths are all still being worked out. And as the number of suspects is unknown to police at this time, they ask anyone with information that could help in their investigation to please contact the Irondequoit Police Department. That number right there on your screen, 585-336-6000. Reporting in studio, Natalie Kutchko, News 8.